Today we're going to be talking about Timepiece Gentleman, aka Anthony Fair, and the trouble he has gotten himself into. So I'm just going to give you my opinion, my take on this whole situation, starting from the beginning, pretty much when he started this YouTube channel. So it was very evident to me that this guy was living a life that he couldn't afford, especially in the watch business, where you're actually not making as much money as you think you are. He was basically duping everybody into believing that he was super successful, that he was doing lots of volume selling watches, and also doing huge transactions with huge profit margins. However, if you look at all the other YouTube channels and their businesses, real businesses, you can see that the watch industry is not as lucrative as you think it is. For example, you look at channels like Roman Sharf or CRM Jewelers, and you can see they're buying and selling stainless steel Rolexes and making $500, maybe $1,000 on each transaction. On top of that, you're also paying for rent, you're paying for employees, you're paying to polish the watch, you're paying for insurance, you're paying for shipping, you're paying for furniture, you're paying for social media manager, you're paying for camera equipment, you're paying for getting a box, you're paying for an extra link. So this whole business, it can be lucrative, it seems on the outside, but it's not as lucrative as Anthony Fair led you to believe it was. For example, Anthony's driving a Lamborghini, he's driving a G-Wagon, he's living in a penthouse. He is taking us all on this wild journey, fake journey, into believing that he makes a lot of money, and so that is why we should buy and sell watches from him. And it just doesn't make mathematical sense. That's my whole point here, is that this whole business never made any mathematical sense. And so he was getting money from investors or consignees. And this is kind of where the whole scam unraveled, I believe, is people consigned watches with him. He sold the watches and never paid those retail clients. He used the money to either buy a lifestyle to keep up with the Joneses, as they say, and continue this charade so that people would be impressed by him and trust him with their watches to consign or buy and sell watches from him. But really, he was taking watches from retail clients and using the money to either fund his lifestyle or to pay other investors or people who consigned watches to them. So essentially, it's like a Ponzi scheme. You take money from one party and you pay it to the next, and that it just continues on until people are like, they all come asking for the money, and you won't have any money to pay all the people at once. You only have money to pay one client at a time. So this whole thing unraveled, and it's really frustrating. You know, we're talking, who knows if 5 million is the number, or if that's a made up number, but any number above 1,000 is too much. You know what I mean? Like, people are losing $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. That's a lot of money, especially for someone who's just like a retail regular client, wants to get out of a watch or wants to get into a watch, now has either none of those or a stolen watch. And yeah, this is just all, you could smell it a mile away. His character, I mean, I know that everyone deserves a second chance. I believe in that. But this guy has committed crimes time and time and time again. You know what I mean? It just smells fraudulent. And once you're in that fraudulent world, once you're a criminal, it's hard to get out of it. And just all very evident in his social media schemes, his coaching schemes. It was one thing after another, and there was never a a real business there. It was just a quick scam, like this coaching scam. It was like 50K for the first year. If you sign up with me, it'll be 75K. If you don't sign up with me in the first 6 months, and then it'll be 100K. And he would just take these people on watch buying episodes in New York City, and you could just see that his bargaining was subpar compared to everyone else. You can see his eyes would light up when he'd see a watch that he wanted to wear for himself, and he would just buy watches for himself rather than the business. When you look at these business watch channels, you can see that a lot of them, they really don't give a shit about the watch. They just want to make money. They don't care. Of course, they're passionate and they appreciate the Presidentials and the Submariners and the GMTs and the APs, but they see this shit all the time. They really don't care about the watch so much. They might have a couple pieces for themselves, but they just want to get in and out. They just want to make money. This is the only way to make the business work. And he would just see a watch light up, buy it for himself, keep it, and then trade it for something else that he wanted. You can see that it wasn't really a business there. It was just a lifestyle that he was selling, and he's gotten himself into this huge hole. And at this point, it's sad, and it's also comical. He started making 5-day redemption videos where he's trying to make back $5 million, which is, I mean, it's insane. The average person, probably doesn't even make $1 million in their lifetime. And he's trying to make back $5 million selling Rolexes for $500 profit out of a coffee shop. Like, it's just a joke at this point. And guys like these, they shouldn't belong in business, and they kind of ruin the reputation for many businesses in the watch industry now, at least for the short term. I don't know about the long term. It'll probably just fizzle out. I'm sure there's people who bail on payments all the time and take watches and don't pay back the consignees. But this is just so, it documented. He literally incriminated himself all on video for us to watch. And that's the saddest and funniest part about this. And that's all I'll say about that. And that's why I get my watches from ADs. Of course, gray market serves a purpose. But I get on the list, I wait, and I know my watches are real. I know I pay what MSRP is. Of course, I would like to get a discount, get some rich person to buy at retail, and then I buy it off them at a discount. But when we're talking about the world of Rolex, I'm totally happy paying retail. So that's it. I'm happy to watch this guy make more videos because I find it so entertaining. Actually, it's realistically super toxic, and none of us should watch this garbage. But the guy's just, probably has mental health issues. So yeah, that's all I'll say about that. See you guys in the next one.